Well, hey there, everyone. We do seem to have a lot of slowness on the internet today, so we're going to give this a try, and I will hope it's going to work out for us. I decided to go directly live this time instead of going through Zoom, so I hope that's one little modification that will help. I've moved to a different part of my studio, so I do realize that the lighting is not going to be optimal. Believe it or not, I do have some lights on order. They're coming. They're coming my way, so things will only get better, I hope. But for today, I'm going to try doing this blowing bubbles directly on watercolor powder again, as I tried a couple of days ago. The big difference now being one, I'm going to use paper, and two, hopefully I have my sound turned on, so hopefully you can hear me this time. I think the microphone is picking me up today. So let's get started. What I have here is I've got a piece of some stone paper on a smaller easel that I've got covered with plastic just in case we get a bit of a mess. I'm a little bit anxious that there might be some splatter coming from the bubbles onto the laptop, but I think it's far enough away that it's not going to be an issue. So, oh, by the way, in case we haven't met yet, my name is Tirza Ekholm of the Tirza Factor, and I am delighted to have an art studio at home and share with you so, sometimes at the end of the day, I just need to do something fun and silly. I've been doing a lot of Zooms all day and some other computer work, and now I'm just going to do something fun, and we'll see if it works. Um, why am I trying to make this work? Well, first of all, watercolor powders are kind of cool because unlike a watercolor block that you kind of add water to, these don't. It's similar. These don't activate until you actually put water on them. Um, Bubbles are just kind of fun because there's the surface. It should create some sort of blops or something as it hits the watercolor powder, and see what kind of interesting pattern we're going to create. The other thing that I've done is I simplified this greatly from the cloth one that I did a couple of days ago, and I'm only using 3 colors. Now I say that there are 3 colors, but understand that these powders are made up actually of several colors, so we're going to see how it's going to break apart and work. So let's just see. All right. I can start to see some action. You probably can't see it yet where you are, but let's just keep going. If nothing else, it's kind of fun because who ever heard of anybody blowing bubbles at some paints on paper anyway? If this works, I may go back to trying it again on fabric because that certainly made it for a very different effect. The other thing that's happening now is because I've got it vertical. Um, Hopefully you'll be able to see it on camera a little bit. I see it's a little bit far away. I tried to use kind of a dark color in the middle so you'd actually see something happening here. Part of it is I think I'm a little bit nervous, and so I'm not actually creating any bubbles. And can you see anything going on? Well, you can see something starting to go on. All right, all right. I can see I need to go up here more for the top. Well, unlike the when I had them horizontal, we're not getting that circular effect that I had before. But I'm getting a lot less splatter, so I guess it all depends on what it is you're wanting to create. But the crystals are starting to wake up now. And we're going to start to get kind of a pattern here, kind of based on the way I put the powder on here in the first place. So, now we're starting to get some drips. My point for all of this is just to encourage people to be creative, to try something silly, to try something that maybe you've never even heard of before, and just see what happens. I think we've lost some of that playful spirit we grew up with. I don't even know if schools have rec periods anymore. Well, when we get back to school in the first place. it just seems like even in business, I find myself, we just get so serious. You know, I've got to get things done right. I've got to do really cool content. I've got to do something super useful for you. I mean, who knows what's going to, right? But what about just the super usefulness of actual playtime? Silliness. You know, relaxing, not taking everything, especially ourselves, so darn seriously. I mean, what if I get this all wrong? What if this turns out to be a really sucky piece? Well, good grief, it's just a piece of paper and a couple of bubbles, and who knows? But then it might actually turn out to be something really cool and wonderful. And actually, I'm kind of liking what's starting to happen here. So I personally like some of the drips. They're going to start to combine with each other because I have this lovely plastic surface that I have, which, by the way, I can roll up and throw away. Yeah. There's starting to be some stuff happening here. If I can't wipe this off the table, I'm going to be able to throw the whole thing away. So I have nothing to lose except I get to have a little bit of fun, and maybe you'll have some fun with me. Maybe you'll laugh. I don't know. Maybe reach for a glass of wine. Or maybe you go off and watch some really serious news, because there's plenty of serious things going on in the world to watch news about. Well, I don't know. At the most, I've got a bunch of drips going on here. I'm not getting any of that circle effect like I had before. So there is something to be said for doing it on a horizontal surface instead of a vertical surface. But then I can't show you what's going on. So, yeah, you gotta kind of have to make a trade-off here. Well, I think I'm going to leave this just as it is. I might blow a few more bubbles, but for now I'm going to go ahead and end the video. Let's just see how this works for a live video. And thank you as always for joining me. And if this does turn out to be something, I'll post pictures later. Have a fabulous evening. Go and enjoy life. Go for a walk, go for a run, or just do something darn silly. This is Teresa Ekholm wishing you a fabulous day.